What's going on, everybody? Today, this is Matt. I am here with Chris. What's up, bro? How are you?
What's up, man? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, appreciate you coming through. It's been a while. I know we talked about it and stuff in the past, so I really appreciate you taking the time. I know you got a busy schedule, so yeah, I guess just introduce yourself, let everybody know who you are, where you're from, stuff like that.
My name's Chris Romolini. I tattoo at Forever Valentine in South Philly. We're in a Bach building, an old high school building.
Sweet.
We work on the 5th floor.
Yeah.
See the whole city up there and shit.
So where'd you grow up? You're from Philly, obviously, right?
Yeah, South Philly originally, and then like 3rd grade I moved up to Northeast Mayfair. Went to Forest Elementary, Austin, man, jumped around a bunch of other schools, and I ended up at Judge.
Yeah, Mayfair gang. Yeah. So did I. So I'm the opposite way.
Technically Holmesburg, but Mayfair,
yeah. We're not. I actually had a couple of people from Holmesburg. You're not our first Holmesburg person, but
who was on there?
A couple people. My one boy Mike, who's from there, and then one of the other dudes. He's an older guy, but
cool.
not someone you would know. But yeah, all good. So I guess bring us back. Like, so when was your first idea? Like, I'd imagine, like, at least myself, like being artistic is something you felt like early age, probably, right?
Yeah, I've been drawing since I was like 2, 3 years old. And just kept doing it.
Is it just like a passion you had? Like, it's not something that you're just like...
I mean, not at first. I was just drawing to draw because I was a kid.
I used to love to draw when I was a kid too, but I would be the guy that like traces, like something that I can look at. You know what I mean?
Like Dragon Ball Z and shit, like cartoons and stuff. So I would be drawing all that all the time.
Yeah, that used to be the move. I used to remember getting up early, right before school, 6 a.m.
Yeah, all the cartoons and shit.
They would pop on and be 6, 7 a.m. and then you'd have to, at least when I would go to school, you had to go halfway through the 7 a.m. show.
Yeah, I kept drawing, and then it wasn't until like, I don't know, like 3rd grade or something, teachers were always like, damn, this kid's like got talent or something.
Yeah, they're like, you're pretty good at drawing.
Art projects, everyone will want to be in my group for art projects, and then I was like, oh, I guess I got something to do, you know?
It's cool looking back at it. Like, you probably had like this one teacher that was like, you're really good, and like, you don't realize like what that does to a kid. Like, my mom
I was just talking about that yesterday.
Yeah, like, it's really, shout out those teachers that like really like, you don't realize it at the time. I'm sure the teachers don't even realize it, but it's like, this person may have changed the whole arc of my life.
All it takes is one person to
support.
Give you that like spark and like inspiration to keep doing it.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Sometimes people don't get that from their parents or friends or whatever, you know,
or
they don't have that.
Sports, like I think about it for sports, like there's people that just somebody believing in you, like that alone. It doesn't matter the context. Like it's like someone instills in you, like, oh, like I can do this, and you learn like, no, I actually can do it. So that's really cool. So I guess like your whole grade school, high school, you got the high school, like your same thing, like doing. When did you kind of branch off to doing things besides drawing?
Well, high school, I took art. We only were allowed to take art class like 1 year at Judge.
Yeah.
So I took the senior year was when I took it, or junior, I don't remember. But senior year, junior year, I took art class, and then that's when I really started taking it serious and was like, oh shit, like.
Yeah. No, you ever like draw shirts and stuff back then?
No, yeah, I was making.
I was about to say, I feel like that's.
I made Turkey Bowl shirts, St. Patty's Day shirts.
It's probably so sick too when you're
prom shirts, not even just for Judge, like Hubert's, Franklintown, Ryan.
Yeah, you got paid a little bit too, probably.
Yeah,
that's probably sick. The first time you're like, I can make some money doing this.
I paid for my storehouse, and I bought my first car with just selling T-shirt designs.
That's crazy. That's so sick, and it's got to be such a surreal feeling, like especially as a high school kid, like when you see somebody that's not even like looking at you or giving you attention, like, yo, that's my shirt. Yeah, it's tough.
Well, when I made these St. Patty's Day shirts, and it was like a 4-leaf clover, and I put all the neighborhoods inside of the 4-leaf clover, and then I sold probably like...
I think I've seen them, bro.
Yeah, like 300 or 400 like shirts.
Yeah, when you got to put a reorder in, you're like, yo, I need more shirts.
Someone sent me a picture of some guy that was on the news getting like interviewed for like a car accident or something, and he had my shirt on. Yeah, and I was like tripping out. Yeah, I was like, what
you'd be surprised. Crazy, it's sick. Like I had a couple times where like even just doing this little thing I'm doing, like I had people down the shore coming up to me like, yo, you're the guy that does the thing, and like I was embarrassed. I was like, holy shit, like I didn't realize people were like have that kind of reach.
That thing happening with the shirts and stuff was cool because now it's all the time with tattoos because like I do tattoos and that's
when did you get into like when did you think like oh like I should translate this to doing tattoos?
Senior year, end of senior year, like
is that like a sure thing? Like,
I bought a machine off eBay, fucking tattooed my friends. Yeah. Everyone's got like Bustleton or whatever on their legs or a shore house address.
I have a stupid one, the first one, and I didn't get one till 3 or 4 years ago.
What is it?
But we were having a bet, and it was like I used to love Marvel. I got like R.I.P. Iron Man, like right when he died.
That's crazy.
But my boy did it, with like a gun, and it is so bad, like just free-handed. It's same thing, like Amazon or something like that.
It's not the best way to start, but it was how I started. So, and a lot of people do it. And some of my favorite artists started like that.
How does that transition like artistically? Because like I know when you're drawing, obviously you're dragging a pen, right?
Yeah.
But with that, are you picking it up, or is it kind of different?
Yeah, I mean it's similar, but yeah, you are picking it up, and you just kind of. I don't know. It's like at this point, second nature. So it's so hard for me to explain.
It's put it in words, right? I would just think it's like someone not involved, like because I just started getting them and I'm looking at it and I'm like, you do even see the needle going in and out.
Yeah.
So like,
it's going in and out like
so fast,
a million times per minute. You know what I mean? So
that's
depending
cool.
on what machine it is and stuff or how fast they're running.
Right. Yeah. So I guess when you first got the idea, like you're doing them senior summer, and then you just decided like, I think I could do this like full time.
Yeah. I mean, I went to college freshman year at the Art Institute for Graphic Design because I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Might as well do something with art. And then realized how terrible it was and probably wasn't going to get a job after graduating.
Yeah.
And it was expensive as shit, so.
Yeah, they have the Benjamin Rush, the art school. Yeah. It's like right in Ivor, and I'm at Calgary, so I see a lot of them kids all the time too. So.
And then, most of them probably go to like UArts or Art Institute or whatever afterwards. But yeah, graphic design was not what I expected it to be. And then I knew some kid that was tattooing that I was in class with, and he was like, yeah, just tattoo too, and I'm going to school for this or whatever.
It's another crazy thing.
He showed me his drawings and how bad they were, and I was like, what the fuck? This dude's tattooing? If he could tattoo, I could do it, you know?
It's crazy though how just like, again, like even going back on the thing we're talking about, teachers, like, imagine if that one dude never suggested that you could
I had a professor that Art Institute is like a big scam, so it got shut down and stuff. And I got like some of my loans like dismissed, all that stuff.
Right.
But I had one teacher, it was his last year teaching there, and he was like the coolest one I had. And he was like, what do you want to do? And I was like, I don't know, I think I want a tattoo. And he was like, then leave. Like, what's the point of you being here?
Right.
And he told me straight up, and then the school shut down like a couple years later.
It's an ambitious thing though. Like everybody entrepreneur, like whether you're a tradesman, whether you're doing like real estate, whether you're doing your thing, like there is a little like crazy. Like I was explaining this, my one little brother's in college and he doesn't know what he wants to do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude,
hard.
like, you never know. And even explaining it to him, I'm like, dude, like you're gonna find your way, but like whether you're successful or not isn't dependent on like how good of a grade you get on that test. Yeah. Like the person that's willing to and has the courage to do that is always going to be successful in my opinion, because you're like a leap of faith.
Yeah, I just went to college because I thought that was just what you had to do.
Same here. So and I'm in marketing, and you would think it's relevant to my job, but like not really. You know what I mean? Like it helps to be a good marketer, I guess, but like I'm no better than someone that didn't. Like my dad is one of the best realtors in the area, and he has his master's in teaching.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it doesn't mean anything.
And like some of the best artists in the world or ever to exist, like some of them didn't go to school either.
They didn't, or they were really good at art and they didn't have like the courage to do it. You know what I mean?
Or
like
someone
make a
to
career
tell
out
them
of it.
to take a different path.
Exactly. Yeah, that's crazy. So, yeah, that's really cool. Do you have like I guess you went to him and you got connected to him. Like, is he from Forever Valentine or is it a different spot?
My boss.
Whoever you met in class or your professor that got you.
Oh, no. We were just friends in college, and then I seen that he was tattooing. He was just tattooing out of his house.
Oh, really?
So I was like, I guess that's the way to do it. I don't know. And then I was doing that for a little bit, just tattooing my friends and stuff, like bullshit on their thighs, like little logos and stuff. Like, I think the first tattoo I ever did was like a Nike logo, like on his thigh.
Yeah. My one boy who did mine here, he does his whole leg all the time.
Oh, shit. Really?
Yeah,
I wouldn't recommend that. Like, it's definitely, but it's more business for me because I'm going to end up covering it up. You know?
Yeah, honestly.
So, I cover up a lot of people's tattoos that they do
like,
on
are you doing that with a laser or you're covering up?
No, people can get laser done.
Yeah,
but
how does that go? Is that like efficient, you think?
Yeah.
I guess it's like anything. If you pay enough money, it's better.
Yeah, depending on if you're trying to get a tattoo like fully covered up, you can get a laser removed, which is going to help with the cover up. Or you just don't want it at all, then you can get it laser.
How does that work from like you as an art perspective? Like, are you trying to match like, I guess, like the base colors of that to that? Like, you can't just fully like a dry erase board just erase it and redo it, right? Like, you kind of got to match some of the coloring.
No, you can.
I guess it's like anything.
The lasering is crazy, depending on like where you get it done and stuff. But you can like completely get a tattoo removed. Like people do it with their face tattoos.
Right.
And shit.
That's crazy.
But I like to tell people if it's something that I don't think I can cover up really well, I'll tell them to get a couple sessions of laser, and then I'll cover it up, and then it's like brand new.
It is interesting too from your perspective, because like everything is almost like a vote or a stamp of approval from you, because like you need, like if you're covering up, you don't want it to look bad because
I tell people straight up. Yeah. I say no to a lot of shit.
I respect.
I love
that.
saying
I see a lot of people. Yeah, but that probably like how did you develop that from a business standpoint? Because there's probably a point where like obviously you just started off like you're trying to make money, you're trying to do things where you're like I'm trying to do whatever.
I mean, I feel like I just put the work in and just try to get better and better every tattoo. It's all trial and error at first, just like anything.
No, that makes sense. So I guess how'd you get linked up with the place you're at now?
The owner is Pat Haney. He opened it up like 7 or 8 years ago, and I was trying to get out. I was at the same shop where I apprenticed for 7 years, and I was just trying to make it, the next step. Yeah. Work around artists that I really like was inspired by, and like try to get better. And I just went to him. I was like, "Yo, you think you'd hire me?" And then boom, he was like, "Yeah, you start Monday."
That's awesome. So how does it work? Like, how from a business standpoint does it work for you guys? Like, I know, like, obviously you could be a really good artist, right? And I'm sure you know a ton of people who are really good artists, but they're not as good on the sales side. Like, are you operating mostly off referrals, or like how does that work?
It's probably like 50-50, like Instagram and like, people just find me through there. I've gotten clients from like Reddit, like not even just me posting on there, but like other clients that are like really big.
And it's something that's a really good, like it's literally a billboard on.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only reason I have Instagram is just to market myself. And then, a lot of it's just like, word of mouth just from clients that tattoo. They bring family member, boyfriend, girlfriend, and then one of their friends sees it, and it's just like a snowball
That's
effect.
Awesome. It's a good timing too. Like right when we were like in high school, Instagram like kind of went from crazy to like now like I was like literally just talking about this before, but like my Instagram, like I have to make it, and same as you, like it's got to be like a resume. Like
exactly. It's my portfolio.
Literally, and it's cool for you
because
you
have
can put
like
art
paper
there.
portfolios of like I have some, but we don't have a wall of portfolios where people come in and look through the books anymore. It's just Instagram.
I'd imagine you're so big now too, like you don't even need like is there, when you first started, was there value in like I want to be at a shop that has like a high foot traffic so you're getting walk-ins and stuff like that?
Definitely when you're starting off because you're just trying to build up your clientele. Because I mean my first week as an artist, like out of my apprenticeship, I think I made like $100 that week. I tattooed like one person that like walked through the door, or just like a friend. Right. Like, you know what I mean? I was 18. But that's where I was 18 living at home, so it didn't really matter.
But like at the same time, like on the flip side, like you're looking at like it's good memory, but like at the same time, like that takes a lot of balls to be like, yo, I'm gonna do this. Like some people will be like, people I think sit so used to like a 9 to 5 and I'm getting this certain amount of salary, and like even now, like when you, I'm sure anything like, was it nerve-wracking like when you bought a house or you did these sort of things because you're like, oh, now I'm not like, you I guess have a good system of business and everything like that now, so you can kind of predict it, but
I feel like it was like so early on that I didn't really know what I was getting into. I just kind of jumped into it.
Because I feel like any job that's like referral based when you're starting off, like I'll at least speak for myself, like I'm doing solid now, but like when you first started, you're a bit nervous. You're like, well, can I take on this extra spending and stuff? And then I think I just got to a point where I'm like, whatever happens, like we'll just make it work.
You just kind of got to wing it, work hard.
The stress doesn't do you any good.
Try to promote yourself.
How does it work from you guys, like from a tax standpoint? Like, are you like a 1099?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're all like self-employed.
Right, right. I mean? So you got to keep track of all your taxes and stuff like that?
Yeah.
How does that work?
My mom's my accountant, so shout out to her.
Yeah, shout out her for sure, bro. I just got linked up. So for a while, my dad has a team, and he has like an LLC and a payroll. So he was paying me through there, so I wasn't a 1099. The last couple of years, I've been 1099, so it is cool. Do you guys get like tax write-off stuff like that for your job?
Yeah, you write off everything, like especially if you go like
abroad,
a lot of traveling and shit. Like I go to conventions, hotels, traveling, the booth rental, all that shit. Yeah, I buy a lot of like tattoo books.
How was that for you, like traveling around and doing stuff like that? Like when was the first time you started doing the convention circuits?
Did the Philly convention, which isn't the greatest. It's really big and just like full of just kind of mediocre artists. But there are some really good ones there, especially the people I know.
I feel like it would be somewhat of like a
it's more of like a
career. Like the first time you go there, you're like, oh, I made it. Like it's another stepping stone.
Yeah, exactly. And it's good promotion. So I definitely recommend that to anyone that's like getting into it or like starting off. But I got to a point where I was like pretty busy where I didn't really need to do that anymore. Right. And like if I go do the Philly convention, it's 10 minutes away from my shop. Like anyone coming there to get tattooed by me can just come to my shop and have a better experience.
I guess would it be a good place to like compare and contrast? Because like I guess you'd be able to see everybody's work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you can do that. You can do that on Instagram or just like with the artists to kind of keep you on your toes.
Crazy. I'd imagine
and even at the shop, everyone I work with is better than me, I think, and it's really good. So I just compare.
Yeah, that was one cool thing that I always appreciated about you. Like I know like some people that I've asked you to do, and you're like, nah, but like go to my boy, What I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like I recommend. I think that's great.
I recommend people to my coworkers, my ex-coworkers all the time. If it's like I don't, people hit me up for portraits all the time. No one at the shop really does portraits, but I have a friend, my friend Carlos, I used to work with. He does a lot of black and gray. He's tattooed all of my friends and shit.
Yeah.
I send people to him all the time. If someone wants to,
if you're sending to somebody, like, it's a good vote of approval. Like,
yeah,
people
exactly.
Will really
I'm not gonna send somebody. Yeah. I'm not gonna send my best friend to someone and get a fucked up portrait, and then that's gonna come back on me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So. Nah, that's really cool. Yeah. We do that somewhat similar in real estate. Like sometimes, like, so I'm licensed in PA. Like, if you get into like Northern Bucks or Northern Monco, like, I would be doing you a disservice by like, and for me, even if it was one of my good friends, like, I wouldn't mind traveling and doing an hour or two ride for one of my good friends, but like, I'm not as good in that community. Like, I don't know the realtors, I don't know the lenders.
I got a lot of clients that are like collectors and shit. So like, they ask me, yo, you know anyone in Italy or Cali or this part? I know someone most likely just from Instagram. And then they end up going there and get a good tattoo from someone.
Is that how you got plugged to do the conventions like other cities? Like someone just saw your work and was like, yeah, slide?
Yeah, like a little bit of that, and then probably like the guys I work with and stuff.
Okay.
Because they're the two guys I work with. My boss has been tattooing for over 20 years, and then Dave Fox, who I work with, is like a Philly legend. He's been tattooing for like 30 years. So I feel like they got a lot of connections, which opens my doors.
And it's the same as you saying you wouldn't suggest somebody, like, I'm sure they would only throw you that because they know you'd be good for it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, it's all good karma too, you know. So.
Yeah, it's probably great too. Like talking about Instagram, like it's probably good for your following. It probably helps you get followers, getting people all around and stuff see your work. Yeah, it's really cool. It's got to be like I feel like something that is really cool to see. You know what I mean? Just how big.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in it, so I don't really see it.
Right.
So I'm just
but like, imagine telling yourself a judge, like, yo, like,
dude, I would never.
Like, bro, you're gonna be this if you just stay on track.
Like when I
the
started
same kid
tattooing,
that was making the T-shirts for.
Yeah, exactly. When I was tattooing stuff in senior year, I didn't expect. I would never thought I would get busy.
Yeah.
Or even be doing it for 10 years. You know.
That's kind of like the essence of what I was trying to tell my brother, like who's in college. I'm like, bro, you're gonna get there somewhere. He's a sophomore, so
my brother's a sophomore at Drexel. He's doing like some computer.
He's got my brother's got the life, bro. He's down at FAU. He's down in Florida, bro. Yeah. Damn. He's out like a different story. He's like, yeah, I haven't yet, but I'm gonna. He just came back for Thanksgiving, so I seen him, and then when I got engaged 2 weeks ago, he surprised me and came back, so he was cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, nah, trust me, he don't have too many bad days, bro. He's on the beach all the time.
Yeah, that was one. I always wished that I went away to college or like did that and stuff, but I mean, I might have not gotten tattooing if I never.
I agree, and so many different connections. I don't like. It's tough to regret anything, especially from where you came from and all that stuff. But yeah, one other thing I wanted to ask you, like, so how'd you get into sort of the other stuff? Like, I saw you do some paintings and like ceramic stuff. Like,
that like? So my building, we're in old high school building, and it's like 7 floors. I don't know if you've been in a bar. There's a bar on the rooftop, Bach Bar.
I've heard of it. I know.
There's like
Didn't you do like
photographers.
Your event or
I had an
like
art show there.
Yeah. That's where I think I've seen it.
There's a lady, Lauren, that works on the first floor, and she has a ceramic studio. And I've seen other people like paint on them and stuff. And then I just walked in there one day. I was like, hey, can I buy some ceramics off you to paint? And then she was like, sure. And then
so you're taking it and painting onto it. And
then I just started making them.
Is there like some sort of like gloss or outer shell? That gets
There's like 15 steps to all that stuff.
I would think
it's hard to explain and break it down. But seeing it's crazy. I have a whole new level of respect for it because I started like throwing them and taking classes and stuff. So.
I remember way back in the day, I went to one of the ones where you do the clay ones where you're like molding it and it spins and everything like that.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's on a wheel.
Yeah, like I think I had it like
it's hard as shit. It's harder than tattooing.
It makes harder,
When I started doing that, it made tattooing seem really easy to me.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm like
it's cool,
learning
like you have a good respect for it. It's almost like you'll see like a good singer talk to like someone that's a football player, and it's like you're both such elite at your craft, but like they're so different. Like it's harder to do each other, right?
My first class, I got humbled big time, and like I feel like it taught me like a new patience with tattooing because you need a lot of patience for that stuff. And
oh my god,
all it is waiting and trying to take your time and messing up over and over and over just to make one good thing.
How does that go with you when you're doing like what's the longest sessions you do? Like that's a battle of patience. I feel like
tattooing.
Like some of them go hours and hours and hours.
I don't do anything more than like 6 hours anymore. That's still pretty long, but I usually just do.
Really long.
I do like 3 hour sessions. I usually have 2 clients a day. One at 12 o'clock, one at like 3:30, and then sometimes like today I'll tattoo one person. I'll work on them for like 4 or 5 hours. That's the most I do. I used to do longer ones, but.
I got my first one, and it's only like this big, but I thought everyone was telling me, like I was nervous, like everyone was telling me like it's a bad spot.
I mean, legs hurt.
So
legs are underrated.
I thought that, but it didn't. Like I'm not trying to be tough or nothing. It really didn't
hurt
that bad. It was probably like 3 years ago, 2 years ago. So
that's not bad.
The only thing I had, I'm sure
I was
you
gonna
come
say, if
across
you're like
this all the
18,
time.
like nothing hurts when you're 18.
Yeah,
you don't care.
The only thing that was real weird for me is like I had my leg like this, and I shit you not, like it was uncontrollably like,
it's twitching,
and I felt like such a bitch because I'm like, sorry, like
Yeah,
I know you're trying to work, and my leg is like literally nonstop.
I was just like twitching the whole time.
Yeah, I'm sure it's like some sort of like nervous, like or your nervous system.
That and then there's a needle fucking vibrating on your bone, like scraping through your skin.
That was weird. I don't know if it was because my first one or not. It didn't hurt that bad.
But like think about
I got one right here.
Think about a doctor's appointment when the doctor hits like your knee and your knee reacts to it. That's just what.
Do you ever have to deal with people like, yo, like get it together? Like I'm trying to do this, you're not really functioning. Like you're not
really anymore because I feel like a lot of people I tattoo already have a lot of tattoos.
Right.
You know, and then I've already tattooed them a bunch.
Yeah, that's one thing I definitely want to ask you. Like, how'd you get into? I know, like, you kind of found your lane, like, with the style you're doing, right? Like, it's Japanese and some other stuff, right? Like, how'd you get introduced to that?
Just seeing it and then following certain artists that did it and just realizing, like, the history of it. I'm half Cambodian, which is Asian, so I feel like that's a lot of inspiration in, like, my, growing up and, like, everything, like
it's a crazy culture over there.
Characters and there's so many things.
Growing up, I used to like my dad was either watching when I was growing up. Used to watch the Phillies, or we'd be watching the History Channel.
Yeah,
and we used to watch that. Used to be one of my favorite things.
My stepdad used to watch like kung fu movies all the time and shit. So
I never did that, but like I know like I have a bunch of useless knowledge of like old history.
Yeah,
but like the samurai shit is so cool. Like if you ever get down that rabbit hole.
Shogun?
Yeah, bro,
that show rules.
So good. So good. I thought it was sick too that they didn't shoot it in like English. Like they shot it in there and gave you the subtitles.
You really had to pay attention.
Yeah, because that's like a totally different language. Yeah. Like it's a different like emotion when you hear somebody.
Yeah, it felt more real.
Yeah,
like,
I was literally. I shit you not. I was literally thinking that, but I couldn't remember the name of the show.
Yeah, but like
and you popped
think about all that like samurais and stuff. Like all that shit's cool as fuck.
It was real too. Like it's not like something they made up from a movie. Like these people were like dead ass about that.
Yeah,
like, they did not care.
Like I feel like
crazy
seeing tattoos like that. Like just seeing how like strong and like how you're saying just a regular person that doesn't have that many tattoos, you're like, damn, samurais are cool as fuck.
It kind of gives that
seeing
image
that the tattoo
see somebody on
someone's like whole back piece, you're like that. It's gonna capture you the same as that TV show or movie that you're watching is.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I feel like that's what really
I think it's big. Like obviously we see them and you're around like all the UFC boys, but I feel like a lot of them have that like. You get like a different vibe, like when I'm just at the house, like with my boys, and you're like, "Oh shit, this dude's got all the Japanese tats." You're like, "Oh damn, it's crazy."
I mean, Sean Brady put like that style like on the map around here. Like I feel like so many people been getting it coming to me. That
how was that for you? Like when he came to get you, like did you get plugged by Simon or did he just come to you?
I think he just hit me up on Instagram.
Probably right, like everybody else.
I mean, we've known each other and like mutual people.
Yeah, I didn't know how much older
the neighborhood and shit.
Yeah, I don't know if he's a little bit older than you.
Yeah, like all the Fox Chase dudes and stuff. So I feel like it was like. We follow each other, and I known about him. He knew about me, and then
that's
it was just
probably
bound
so
to happen,
sick though. When you see him like fighting, you're like, dude,
yeah.
Nah, that probably never gets old. Yeah,
the neck tattoos and like
the tat itself is sick too. I really like. And weirdly enough, I did a golf outing with someone that did this another interview with me, Brandon. He's a lender. His friend is one of the graphic designers for. The Few Will Hunt or whatever.
Oh, okay.
So like, did they incorporate a lot of that same style? Like,
I did not. I designed a couple shirts for them.
Really?
Too,
yeah, I think he doesn't. I don't know if he's the designer or he's the one that does it on the shirt. He does something.
Yeah, I think they collaborate with a lot of different artists. Like I'm not one of the only people to do it. Like I think a bunch of other tattooers.
I love a lot of their stuff. Yeah. I got like a couple of their shirts.
Oh yeah, good quality stuff. Yeah. Like I wear that stuff to the gym all the time. I see it. Other people at the gym. I
got the samurai one with like the black and red.
Okay. I did like the leopard with the samurai helmet, and then I did the eagle, snake, and dragon like battle royale.
That's sick. Speaking of that, that was my next thing I want to ask you. So how when did you get the idea to do like the clothing stuff like that? Obviously, I feel like it's a full circle moment because you ironically, like you said, started doing that, and now it's full circle.
When I started doing shirts and designing those in high school, like I thought graduating, I was gonna go to graphic design school, and then somehow like I don't know, start a t-shirt company or something. Like that's what I thought. I was like, oh shit, I'm making money from this. I'm having fun. Like people always need t-shirts, so I thought that was gonna be my thing.
Yeah.
And then I got into tattooing, and I was like, I kind of want to bring that back and make my own merch. So I designed like the Sixers shirt
Everyone
you got.
Dude,
I drew that myself.
So tough.
That's my favorite logo.
That's what I was telling you before we got in here. I was like, bro, my brothers were like, that thing is so sick.
The stickers I gave you, I did like Phillies ones.
They were sick. The Eagles one I saw with the eagle and the green, and that one's pretty sick.
Like being able to design my own stuff and then put it on shirts and people rock it, it's cool.
Yeah, it's a good way too, like to support your boy.
Like, exactly. Support your friend, and then like. Not all my friends and like people that want to support me have tattoos or want tattoos.
Yeah,
so I want to give them something else where they can support me without having to get tattooed. Like I don't care.
Yeah, and even without like wanting to support you, like they're just tough shirts.
My wife don't have any tattoos. She rocks my shirts all the time.
I know, that's crazy. I was ironically just saying that too. So how's she do? I know she has like a little thrift thing she does, right?
Oh yeah. She does that on the side. She's been slacking a little bit on that.
No, my brothers.
It's like a hobby.
My brothers just got into.
Really?
Thrifting.
Oh
yeah.
shit. What they like buy stuff and flip it like clothing?
I don't know where they go, but like even last night, like they mess around with my mom and they're like, and I was over there and she's like, "Where are you guys going?" And they wouldn't tell her, and like I have a location. I'm like, they're at the thrift store.
Oh,
like they're not doing anything.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's really popular right now. Like,
it's sick.
Buying clothes from thrift stores and then like
they came back to me.
Like mark it up.
My brother got me a shirt and it was like some dude must have made it, but it said like Matt Deleting Beer Company or something. But it had my name, so it was like basically like a drinking shirt, but they made it look like they were like like some sort of like almost like I don't know, like a paper shredder company.
I always think about
that.
Like doing the ceramics and like shirts and stuff, like thrifting with my wife and stuff. Like one day my like ceramics gonna be in like some flea market or something,
nuts,
like years down the road, or even when I'm gone, or like shirts or something in like a flea market. Like that'd be wild to see.
No, that would be so sick. So how does that work? Like, did you go through different types of shirts and everything like that, or was it kind of just like you found one that you liked and you just rocked out that?
Well, which one do you have? The Sixers one? The Comfort Colors is the best shirt. That won't shrink.
So I'm sure that's how you got introduced to them. Somehow.
Yeah, it's so comfortable. It's just like a shirt company.
I like it too, yo. And like I'm a little bigger and it fit me good. Like sometimes
and they don't shrink. You wash it a million times.
I was about to say. Like I have an XL and it fits me good. And sometimes like
so now after I made those and like got those shirts, I feel like everyone wants them all the time now. So I feel like I can't go.
How does it work? Like so you have it like set up. I saw the website like e-commerce wise, kind of like. It looks real good. Like I saw you have like Apple Pay on there and shit like that. How'd you get all that set up? Like through a website? Does that like something like that?
Square app.
Okay.
Yeah, Squarespace.
So you kind of design. Yeah, I'm familiar with them.
Yeah, they have like templates and stuff, and I just made like a simple.
That's cool though. So then, what do they just? Do you get like an email or something? Like somebody bought it and then
it'll go right to like my PayPal or like just my email, and then you can print out your shipping stuff out of there. But it's a lot to do. But I try to do like little drops every couple months.
Yeah, when I was in college, I used to do. Like I forget the app. It was one of the apps where you could sell clothes though, and it was just sort of the same thing. Like they would take a percentage, but they would print out a label, and you'd go to like FedEx and get the box and slap it on the box.
Yeah, like Etsy and stuff would do that.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what it is. I forget, but yeah, it's all good. So what do you got? Like, what do you think you're just gonna keep rocking out how you are? Do you got any plans to the future, or like anything that you think you want to go for?
That? I don't know. Just keep getting better. Focus on tattooing, and then I'm really into the ceramics and stuff. I want to keep like trying to make those and get better at making that. That way I can like just develop my own pieces. Like I love collaborating with my friend Lauren because we do a show together and stuff.
How's that like? Just organizing all that. I feel like that's like a whole.
It's mainly doing the work, like actually.
Okay, like getting enough product to do it.
Yeah, like
I'm sure it's like a celebration when you get there.
Yeah, it's like months and months of doing stuff, but. She's been doing it for over 20 years, so she's like really good. And she's it takes me like 2 hours to put a little like tiny thing together, like an ashtray or something, and she can whip it up in like 20 minutes.
That's sick.
So like she bangs them out, gives them to me. I'll take them home. I'll paint them every night after work, hours and hours and hours. Bring her a couple pieces back. She does the glazing, the firing, and then it's just a reoccurring thing, like a couple weeks at a time, and then next thing you know, we have like 50 pieces.
No, that's pretty sick. So how do you like you just got the idea from her? I guess that she has more like a background in the selling part of it and stuff, like what you're doing, like price wise and sales and sort of.
No, we just kind of wing it.
Yeah. It's like every good business.
Yeah, we just try to agree on something.
Yeah, and like if it either works or it don't, and you learn.
You base it off of other things you see and stuff, like other people that do it. But
like I have like a little bit of a thing, like sort of the same thing. Like I'm not doing it full time or as much as I want, but like I'll do videos for people for houses and stuff, and people will say to me like what I'm doing, and I'm like I just do it. Like I don't have like I don't have some unique business strategy.
Especially when you're starting off, and it's all a learning experience, you know.
Yeah, just getting any like experience is good experience, 100%. I think.
And then like sometimes you undercharge or sometimes you think you're overcharged, but you know, you got to know your worth and stuff too.
That's like one of my biggest pet peeves. Like,
people trying to,
like or this or that. Like, I forget what I was just talking about, but like basically, I just had an example I was thinking of too earlier in the week. But I was like, look, like I don't care about paying something, especially if it's somebody I know personally. Yeah. Like, I don't want you to cut me a break for this or that. Like, I want you to pay for whatever it is. Like, I don't care. I just like the peace of mind of knowing, one, it's getting done by someone that knows what they're doing. And you're trying
to support your friend or they want to support you. I mean, they should want to pay.
Like, even that, like, I have my house getting, like, I'm, like, redoing my house, and, like, I'm trying to hit up as many people as I know. Yeah. And, like, even that, like, I have, like, my uncle doing something, and they're like, well, what do you... I'm like, I'm going to pay him whatever he wants. Yeah. Like, he's doing me a favor.
Exactly,
like, I'm going to live here, so...
You're already going to save money from not hiring some random person that you don't know.
Yeah, not to mention, I like knowing, like, the person that is, and, like... We were just talking about this earlier, but, like, I really, truly believe in my heart, like, that, like, when you go out of your way and give, like, that energy comes back eventually,
yeah, 100%.
Like, it definitely...
That's how I've always thought, like, my whole career. Just put the energy into it, put 100% in, and then I get 110% back.
Yeah.
So, like, I always get more back, you know? And you probably same thing with you know?
Yeah, that's kind of the whole reason I started this whole thing. Like, we were talking about it, but like during COVID, I didn't know, I felt bad, like hitting up, like just talking to all my boys and everything, and they have business, and they were like, if you were a small business, like imagine if you started right then, like you're shot.
Exactly.
Like, it was hard.
I don't know how anyone like.
Yeah.
Imagine you started tattooing and then you're a month in and they're like, all right, you can't tattoo for 3 months.
And it's frustrating. Like
you're
we were
like
telling
someone
them,
that has
like
a kid
even
or something.
a couple years later, it still gets me mad. I'm like, well, how come like certain things are essential and certain things aren't? Like I'm doing real estate.
When that was happening, I was on Instagram like photoshopping myself like out front of Home Depot tattooing and stuff.
You're right.
And just like put it on my story.
Yeah,
it was like they were open the whole time. Like people weren't even buying houses.
My dad, I remember, I still to this day laughing, but like he was pissed, bro, because of Rita's. He would drive by Rita's every day, and be like, how the hell are they allowed to sell wood rice, but I can't work right now?
Crazy. I think like nail salons, barbers, and tattooers were like the last ones to go by.
Yeah, it's such a unique business too. Like, would you ever think about opening your own shop, or would that just be? I feel like that's people don't realize, like, being a good plumber, being a good tattoo artist, being a good whatever. There's such a difference between like owning a shop or a business and like doing that, like. Because a lot of people used to come to my dad about that because he'd be really good at real estate. And they'd be like, why don't you open your own brokerage? And he'd be like, bro, like, I don't want to do that. He's like, I'm trying to focus on doing what I'm doing.
People ask me like all the time, like, yo, you're going to open up your own studio, this and that. I'm like, dude, I'm trying to get good at tattooing. Like,
right. No one has the time for that. People don't realize how much work goes into it. A million other things
on the side, too. Yeah. Like, I'm making my own art. I'm doing the ceramic stuff. I'm traveling a lot. If you have your own business, you got to be there all the time. You can't just dip out and go to Greece for 2 weeks or something. And the thing people don't realize
either, you're managing personalities.
Yeah, like, that too, yeah.
Like, and people are going to get upset. People are going to be mad.
You're really good at reading people, and I would be the probably worst person to like be a boss to hire people because I'd be really strict.
Not a good poker face, like
I'd be like,
no, for pissing me off.
Yeah, exactly. They wouldn't even make it into being hired. I would read them from the get go.
And even that, imagine like putting the energy in, like especially like that, like when you're mentoring someone, like it's a lot of time. Yeah, like, you put all this energy into somebody, and then they just like. They waste it, or they do something.
You wasted your own time too.
Yeah,
when you could have been putting it into something else.
Like you could have done all that time tattooing.
So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I would like apprentice anyone or teach anybody, but if I did ever have a studio, they would have to be on the same page as me. Like everyone has to be good.
You kind of do have your foot in so many doors though. Like it's kind of perfect. Where like I feel like you're not gonna have much like not that you ever would, but like. I'm sure some people when they're only doing tattoo, like it could be a little like fatigue or like tedious. Whereas now you're doing the ceramics, you have the shirts, you're going to different things. So like I feel like that would give you like energize you enough. Like I'm doing all these different things. Like for me, I feel that 100%.
I feel like it keeps me going too. Like everything's fresh. Like I don't ever feel like I'm at a plateau. I don't feel like I'm not getting anywhere or not leveling up. I'm always doing something, and once that thing's done, I'm already thinking about the next thing.
It's literally
I have my whole year planned out already.
Like, well, I just started doing that the last 2 years ago. Like, and
I'm like a year to 2 year guy, and then I have a 5-year plan. How does that work
with like your books and everything? Like, I think you did it like I saw like 4 months, right? Like that's a unique strategy in your game, right?
So before like 2019, before I went to my private studio, like where I work now, Forever Valentine, I was getting like super busy. Like I got to like 7 or 8 months. and I was like, what the hell am I doing? Like, I can't even like plan a trip. I can't take time off. If someone has to reschedule, then I gotta tell them they gotta wait 8 months. So like it was just getting too hectic. So
especially,
I was like,
I'm sure people just get stuck sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
If you have a kid or something, like you're in a bad
spot.
Like I mean, you feel bad.
I'm not gonna feel bad. You forgot that you had an appointment 9 months ago. Like, well, that's. I mean, obviously you should have it in your calendar.
Yeah, stuff, but like imagine that's annoying. But like imagine someone like, dude, like my kid.
A lot can happen. You can have a baby in 9 months and then be like, I can't get this tattoo. I just had a baby yesterday.
Wild thing.
So I seen a lot of tattooers doing it, just doing month to month for like a couple months, and then I started doing 4 or 5 months at a time, and then it just started working. I've been doing that for like 5 years. So
yeah, it's hard to like in a lot of other venues, like whether you're in the trades or this or that, you can kind of sub contract that. Like even real estate, like if my dad got a lot of business, like he could have me come on. If I have too much business, I can have another realtor come on, and I can kind of piss them off. Like you can't do that. Like you're the tattooer, you know. You can say go to your boy,
recommend to my coworkers and stuff, you know.
Like you couldn't have like a team, right? Like the Chris Romolini team where you had tattoos.
I mean, if I
but like at the
made
same
a clone
time,
of myself and I apprenticed them or something, and then made them.
You'd have to convince the person that's coming to you though not to work.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of people want to go to you. So
exactly,
if people really like you and know you, like, I want to buy a house with you, you can't.
But it's easier for me to be like, I'm watching it all and stuff. Yeah. Like you're the artist. It's not like you can replace art. You know
and exactly. And everyone has their own style. So like, if my style has this distinct look that someone's looking for, it's going to be hard.
It's hard
for someone else
to
replicate.
Yeah, I agree.
Like there's a million tattooers doing what I'm doing. So like,
so you just got to a point where you're like, I'm just going to go 4 months. Whoever gets booked.
Be able to allow,
first come, first serve.
Yeah, first come, first serve.
Do you direct the people that like the over traffic to like the following book, or is it just whatever?
I'll tell them, be like, hey man, like I'm not really like booking anyone else right now because I want to like plan some trips. I gotta plan out my rest of my year, and then I would think my coworker could do a really good job at this, or this friend or whatever.
That's such a cool thing for you to have, like the extra business where you can give it away and know like to that person like I'm still doing that because I would feel bad like I'm doing them a disservice, but like someone that's doing it just like that can do a great job.
But it's like 4 or 5 months isn't really a long time. Like if you really think about it, it goes by so fast.
Especially the older we get.
Yeah.
I know.
We were just I
have that on the back burner
at the beach. Like it feels like a week ago, and then now you're down here.
I have it December. I have it now with the whole wedding thing. I got engaged, and now I'm like got the wedding suit. You just got congrats and everything.
Thank you.
Was that cool? Like weight off your shoulder, just personally.
Yeah, once
I'm in that boat heavy.
I didn't do any of the planning and shit, but my wife did everything.
I just had to go to some venues over the weekend.
Yeah, but like it's just like. All the building up, and then like it builds up, and then boom, it's over in like an hour, and it feels like the day went by so fast. And then next thing you know,
I'm gonna have like I'm really excited for it, but I also feel like everyone who does it, like it's somewhat of a relief to be like, finally, because it's just like in the back of your head all the time.
Especially if you've been with the person for a while, like
it
nothing changes, you know.
Right, and you just want them to have like a good day.
It was like literally the next day we woke up and then we looked at each other and was like, holy shit, thank God that's done.
Yeah. Literally, I would think that's kind of how I am. But we're in such the infancy of it that we're still really excited.
Yeah,
so
dude. We were engaged for 2 years, and we thought it was such a long time, and then it was over. Boom.
Yeah, that's really cool. But
awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate it, bro. You got anything else for me here?
No, not really.
I appreciate you coming through.
Check out the shop for
Valentine
anybody,
on Instagram. Bro, anybody. If
our website.
Going.
My Instagram, Chris Romolini, and I got email. My website's on there. All that stuff.
Yeah, so all right, bro. I appreciate it.
Dude,
Thanks for coming
having me, man.
My dog, appreciate it. Yep. All right, cool.
Sick.